Hi, my name is Jason Paltrowitz, Executive Vice President of Corporate Services for OTC Markets Group. I'm pleased to be joined today by Graeme Barnes, Head of Investor Relations for Travis Perkins, which trades on the OTCQX market under the ticker symbol TPRKY. As a leading distributor of building supplies in the UK, can you tell us about your company's strategy for growth?
So Travis Perkins' strategy for growth has changed in the last 5 years. In 2013, when the new management team took over, we changed direction from growing through acquisition, which over the previous 25 years had built the group to the size and scale it has in the UK, which covers the entire customer spectrum for building materials and all of the product categories that they might want. Since 2013, we've moved the direction into more of an organic growth strategy and investing in the business. Most of our businesses are either number one or number two in their market, but actually only have relatively small market shares, around 15%. And we see great opportunity to increase that market share, particularly because most of our markets are very fragmented with a large number of very small, typically family-owned competitors.
How does this vary from that of your competitors?
Well, like I said, a lot of our competitor base is very local and they have great relationships with their customers. So in order for the Travis Perkins Group businesses to really compete, we need to make sure we have the best proposition in the market. And that's where our investments have really been focused over the last 5 years. We have aimed to improve the size of the range and the speed of availability of that range of products to the customer. So we've invested in a centralized distribution network, which is the first of its kind for heavy building materials in the UK. And that has given access to 10 times more materials to the customer on a next day basis than has been available previously. The other investment we've been really focusing on is around our digital capability. We're changing the IT systems that support the business, and that will allow the merchant side for the tradesmen in our business, for our trade customers, to get the same level of service as we achieve in our retail businesses. The investments we're making in the business are designed to give us a long-term competitive advantage over the competition. Those small businesses will never be able to invest in distribution or online capability, but it's likely that this is therefore going to be a long-term market share gain and won't be something that happens in the next couple of years.
Can you talk a bit about your overall IR efforts and global approach to sharing the company's story with investors?
Well, since we changed the strategy at the start of 2014, that very much changed the story. Previously, our shareholder base was very much following Travis Perkins to follow the wider UK macro cycle and the construction cycle in particular. Since we began the longer term investments in the business, the focus of our shareholder base has really changed. Those people who are looking for longer term return improvements. And our share base has changed significantly on the back of that. So previously, where we had around 25% of our shareholding in North America, that's now well over 50%.
How are both US and North America investors important from an IR perspective? And how does trading on the OTCQX market factor into that approach?
So North American investors are extremely important to us. They tend to take a much longer view, particularly in the current macro environment, which is somewhat difficult in the UK. They're willing to look out for 2, 3, 5 years and longer. That makes for a much more productive conversation in North America than we tend to have elsewhere across the world. The access to those shareholders is therefore really important, and we really hope that through trading on OTC, that gives us further access to a wider shareholder base in North America.